Hi, and welcome back to my channel where I'm filming somewhere else. So it's really hard to believe it's been 3 years since my diagnosis of autism spectrum disorder in 2021. And so I've had a lot of time to reflect on that. And so I want to talk about 3 things I've really noticed about myself since being diagnosed with autism. It feels like sensory overload right now. It's overwhelming. I guess missing work, missing my routine. I guess it's just been too much. I'll be okay. Peanut butter and honey. 365 days a year. Peanut butter and honey sandwich. Does it ever feel like all your focus is just on yourself? Like, I can't be the only one that feels that way. One thing I've noticed about myself is that I really do stim a lot, and it used to just be stimming on my body, like just tapping or drawing J's with my hand, but that's even extended to certain sensory toys that I really like. In fact, I was in the car with my husband the other day, and he noticed I had this in my hand, and I've just gotten to where I don't mind stimming in front of him. And he was like, "Are you nervous or something?" I was like, "No, I just enjoy this stim toy." Also, when I recently went on vacation, I took this kinetic-like sand with me, and it was nice to have this in the vehicle. So this was another one that I really enjoyed. I really don't use that many stim toys to help regulate. I found the 2 reasons I stim the most are going to be for 1, anxiety, or 2, when I'm happy. So those are the 2 reasons I found that I stim. So really, I've been stimming my whole life, even as a child. I just didn't know that's what I was doing. I would take a pillow and manipulate the fabric while sucking my thumb. I did that at the same time, and I did it up until like the age 7, because I remember taking that pillow to school in the 1st grade and being made fun of, and realizing maybe that's something I didn't need to do anymore, and probably discouraged me from stimming in public to begin with. But some of the other ways that I seem to stim are, when my hair was longer, I did a lot of fiddling with my hair, tapping on my body. If I'm driving in the car, I'm probably tapping the steering wheel, or rubbing on something, or sliding that seatbelt in my hand. I've noticed I do that a whole lot. Another thing I've noticed since I was diagnosed is, in retrospect, thinking over the years, is how I've adapted to social situations. I don't think we all adapt the same way in social situations, but from the time I was a child, I figured out it was easier to come up with an activity to do with other people. And then it felt like it had a purpose to it. I've done that my entire life since I was young. If you ask my friends today, they'll tell you I was a lot of fun, and that's because I was too nervous to have talking, just to sit and talk. So I was always thinking of activities to do, and had a lot of fun things we did, climbing trees, riding horses. I'm convinced my dogs think I'm a weirdo. I know that one way I really coped with social situations from the time I was a kid was photography. So doing photography kind of put me behind something. When you're behind a camera, you're not in front of it, you're behind it. And it was my way of being a part of social situations. I would take pictures in school, elementary, middle school, high school. I would snap people's photos, and it was a way for me to feel like I could connect with other people. and feel like I was liked. I was, and even when people would spend the night at my house, I'd probably do a photo session with you. I was really obsessed with taking photos and photography and even videotaping and making videos with my friends. That was my coping mechanism, and it still continues to be in social situations. Figuring how to cope in social situations has continued for me in my own way. Knowing there's a way out, figuring out what my out will be to get out of a social situation. Being comfortable as long as there's activities going on and it's not just small talk. Being able to handle the situation by knowing my limits. So another thing, a number 3 thing that I've learned about myself is what shutdowns or meltdowns look like for me personally. Now, up until recently, I couldn't even tell you the difference between a meltdown and a shutdown. But after making my video recently, when Jen from Neurodivergent asked me about the difference in shutdowns and meltdowns, is when I really kind of went to learning more about it and looking it up and understanding that when you are having a meltdown, it's an outward experience of emotion you can't contain that's, visible to others if they're around. It can turn into anger and frustration, and it can take time to bring yourself back down from that. And if you rethink of the situation, you might go right back into that state again. But then I've learned that a shutdown is when you are not able to express what you're feeling on the inside. You've just shut yourself down emotionally. Others they possibly cannot tell other than say that you're being quiet. They may not know you're going through such anguish on the inside. I've learned that about myself when I have shutdowns. I'm not able to communicate with people. It can lead me into a meltdown state if my family pushes me for what's wrong, and I have to talk, and then it turns into a meltdown for me. And when I've had enough, when I'm close to breakdown or meltdown or shutdown, knowing what the signs are for me, I've learned that over the last 3 years. I feel like I'm very much aware and more in tune with what my needs are and how to help myself better. So almost 3 years exactly, I've had a diagnosis, and I feel like I've come a long way. I would say about 90% of people in my life know about my autism diagnosis. If not, it's a little higher. And I'm comfortable with that. At first, it was a lot of questioning myself if I should tell people about it. And then when the situation would present itself, I did. And then it was the feeling of awkwardness when I was around them. If I knew they knew of my autism, I felt like I just had this sign on my head and that was all they could see. But after several encounters with the people that know that I'm autistic, that kind of goes away for me, and I feel more comfortable. I feel like being myself and knowing that if they think that my social interactions are odd or different, they'll have a reason behind, they'll know why. I have felt more comfortable after talking to you guys. All of you that have subscribed and are part of this channel have made a huge impact and difference in my life. I look forward to talking to you, and I look forward to having conversations and getting to know you. And it means a lot to me to be a part of this community and hopefully to bring some value or knowledge to you as I mostly share my experiences and what I've learned, which can change for me over months and years. My opinions can change. If you watch a video I made a year ago, I may not feel the same as I do today about that topic. So it's good to stay up to date. But it does show a progression in where I've come, from where I've been to where I've come to, and my knowledge about autism. And I'm still learning. I'm still on this journey, just like you are. And I'm willing to share an experience with you in hopes of reaching you in your life and So maybe you can compare how may we be similar or different, or what, if it can help you in any way. Thank you so much for being a part of this channel. I'm so excited to have, all of you subscribers, and if you've joined this channel and you like to learn about autism in adults, please think about subscribing if you have not already. This is a wonderful community, growing friendships here. Go ahead and share your thoughts down there. What have you learned about yourself since your diagnosis? And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.